What's up, people? Welcome to the Health is Wealth podcast. This is the show we talk about the relationship between your health, your wealth, and we're not just talking about the push-ups and dollar bills. Today is a very special day. It's our first road show. We are on the road for our first series, and we are at the Custom Fit Institute. What's up, people? I'm your host, Jason Shibley, and we are at the Custom Fit Institute for today's episode with our co-host, the owner of the facility, Bobby Jackson.
That's right. The first road show, and we're highlighting my business. Appreciate the opportunity, and we are in Pompano Beach here at the Custom Fitness Institute.
Yes, we don't let you talk about yourself very often, Bobby, but today is the day.
You try not to? Yeah, that's right.
We don't want people to get too excited about you. Fireworks will be going off in this town.
Yeah.
So we want to talk about your background, where Bobby Jackson's from. Most people that have been listening to the episodes already know, but we want you to give an opportunity to share where you're from, your educational background, and how the heck the Custom Fit Institute got off the ground and running.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I'm excited for the opportunity here. So some of you guys watching already know a little bit about me. If you don't, born and raised in Minnesota. That's where all the Midwest jokes come from that Jason and I are constantly throwing at each other during all of the live shows and recorded podcasts, of course. And I went to college up in northern Minnesota at Minnesota State in Moorhead. Got a degree in biology with an emphasis in health and medical science, and thought I was going to go into physical therapy from there. So ended up in Florida on a physical therapy internship. That's where I learned about getting certified as a strength and conditioning specialist, which I thought I was just doing to pad the resume for PT school. And I just absolutely love that content. It was being able to really break down and performance train an athlete. And so that's really what got me thinking away from health sciences and into health and fitness. And so once I made the change to fitness, I knew I had to be around Fort Lauderdale or Miami, similar to you, right? That's the idea is, some of the biggest markets for fitness here is Fort Lauderdale and Miami for sure. So.
Yeah, that's for sure. A lot of it, I think you need to share a little bit of your background, who really got you going into fitness with your own personal fitness in college, because I always like that story. I think you need to refreshing everyone on your professor that really got you going.
Oh yeah,
there too. Yeah, I always enjoy that story. So
yeah, I played some sports in high school. I was never a huge stud in any one particular sport, but I liked playing multiple sports. So it was football, it was a little bit of basketball, wrestling, ran track several years, and so I was used to the combination of activities. But my senior year, I tried out wrestling, which is super competitive in Minnesota, right? So I didn't stand a chance of starting, but just being in that wrestling room, just a totally life-changing moment with how competitive all those other guys are up there in Minnesota. A lot of state competitors at that level. So go off to college, freshman English professor. He ends up being a huge fan of mixed martial arts, of MMA. And so he would use a couple MMA athletes who were also writers. He would use their writing as writing samples for certain segments of the class. And so he would also end up talking about his passion in that sport. And then, I ended up kind of getting a wild hair and thinking I might give it a try. And so he got me connected with the first coach I ever had in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is a grappling, like a wrestling type of a sport. And that kind of got me into it to where I am now. I'm still training at 15 years later.
15 years later.
12 years later, man.
But you always when I first met you always like to talk about how he got you to enjoy fitness again, where when you were in school just learning the science behind physical therapy and you were in that stuff, but you always bragged about how he has just had the passion for fitness and just sharing his passion for fitness with everyone else, whether they wanted to jump on board with the jiu-jitsu or not. You just enjoyed the fact that he just had so much passion for it. And I can see that in you now. You have so much passion throughout the career that I've known you for in South Florida, and just sharing your passion for fitness and how much fitness has done for you personally, and now impacting other people's lives with your own business.
Yeah. So that, and that was it too. Even if you're not participating in a sport, it's just be healthy, be active, learn how to use your body, try to keep it in one piece. And I think that's what's helped me also transcend from trying to focus on only athletes to opening up what is now custom fitness, which is, customized personal training programs and recovery training programs for people of any fitness level, any age, any size, any goal. It's just trying to find out what you want to achieve and breaking that down.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the Custom Fit Institute programs that you offer here. You have one-on-one personal training, you have partner personal training, and then you have an awesome little program that's a recovery program as well.
Yeah. So, bread and butter, of course, is working one-on-one with our clients. That's really where we get the most detail. You and I have talked about this quite a bit. When you are just no one else in the room, you and your client, and you just have free reign to get in whatever exercises you want, working at whatever intensity you need to, there's no better service than that true one-on-one personalized coaching. We have some couples that like to train together, maybe family members, maybe friends that get a little energy boost by having a second person there. That's what we refer to as our partner training programs. And then one thing that I think also helps differentiate us from the typical neighborhood gym is that we really also focus on the recovery science involved as well. So it's a little bit deeper in kind of the warm up, making sure that we're getting movement patterns a little bit better warmed up, get people's bodies truly ready to perform at a high level. And then after that workout, they're able to use a lot of our little recovery equipment to make sure that they're feeling good before they hit the door. So we're not just get in, work out, and get the heck out of here. I really want people coming in, being comfortable, and really, really feeling good when they're leaving the gym.
Yeah, and I think you've done a really good thing. You've been open just about 4 years now.
Yeah,
here
man,
in Pompano Beach,
yeah.
Pompano Beach, Florida, right on a perfect intersection of US 1 and Atlantic. You can't miss him. It's really easy to find. But the thing that I always like to brag about you is before you got your facility up, you were actually started writing some articles and putting them out in the local community and stuff. Why don't you share some articles that you've written out and put in a magazine?
Yeah, that was another thing. I think that was actually, you kind of inspired me to do that too. It was actually right after I had opened up the gym at a previous facility. I had trained a gentleman who is the owner and editor of a local magazine. So when I first opened up, I started promoting that, okay, I've got this new little facility here in Pompano Beach, and just did kind of some basic advertising. That gentleman who I had already connected with on social media, of course, saw those posts. And another great function of social media is he reached out and said, hey, I'm looking for somebody to write fitness-related articles to feature in the magazine. It's a monthly publication, and next thing I knew, 13 months later, I had gone 13 articles straight,
Nice.
Got them all published, and now you guys can all enjoy them coming in. I got them all hung up in our entryway there for a little bit of reading material. It was a huge help for me, in my opinion. It was really to try to establish, a little extra credibility in the industry. Like you and I joke about, everybody tries to open a gym. Not saying I'm necessarily more credible than anybody else in the industry right now, but being able to try to go a little above and beyond, and also talk, give out a little bit more content than just
that's
the
it.
people coming in to train with me. It's okay. You can just come in, hang out, and you can absorb a little bit more information that way too.
That's the thing. I think you did a really good job as a local business adding value to the community and the neighborhood around you, even your next door business owners beside you. I think you did a really good job adding value to everyone's lives, as well as they get to know you through your articles as well.
Yeah.
But before even asking for a grand launch and all that stuff, those articles were out there in the world. You were already getting feedback like, please hurry up and open up, Bobby.
Yeah.
We've loved your articles so far, and that really allowed you to take off running pretty well when you guys got the doors open.
Yeah, that helped. I mean, we ran some advertisements in a separate magazine, so we had a second magazine getting content out. We had the local newspaper. We were also doing a little radio show out of iHeartMedia up in West Palm that had a pretty good distribution range too. So we did get some pretty good traffic right away, which, in my opinion, it was just luck of the draw. I mean, all of those opportunities just kind of fell into my lap. There was nothing I feel like I really did specifically that opened those doors. It was just getting luck and meeting some just incredible people that were willing to give me an opportunity. And of course, I couldn't turn that down. We had to we got to jump out Midwest style. You can't
yeah,
can't
just-
leave any stone unturned, right?
No, just shaking hands and smiling at everyone.
Yeah.
That's your, and you're really good at doing that. Besides the smiling part all the time. But
And no more shaking hands. It's all about that hand sanitizer.
It's all hand sanitizer and mask and 6 feet away.
Yeah.
Which you do a very good job because you guys do one-on-one training right now. You guys don't do a lot of partner training at the moment because of the social distancing, right?
Yeah, that's really what's allowed us to continue to thrive since being able to reopen, is the fact that everybody else is, worried about how to social distance in a gym, and we've been social distancing for 4 years now, where there's really never any more than one other client in the whole building. We got about 1,400 square feet. There might be one other trainer with their client. Not a lot of crossover. Typically, people who are partner training are coming out of the same household anyway, so it doesn't matter. Like, we just had a couple in here before we shot this episode right here. So that's really been cool, is being able to have that controlled environment, which is kind of, really the whole mission statement behind Custom Fitness anyway, is that nice, private, comfortable facility. As the owner here, everything's very easily maintained. Hygiene is number one. We've always got, our big hand sanitizer at the door. We're constantly wiping stuff down between clients anyway. I mean, that's, part of our service that we're trying to offer in the first place.
Yeah,
so.
you guys have been super clean. But you've done some promotional stuff here as well. Being a local business, that's pretty big to get people to come into your business and want to do photo shoots. You've had some podcast facilities in here to get your name out here, and people always reach out to you and want a second round. So what is it that makes it's so appealing to come in here? Is it just different? A lot of gyms don't do that normally.
I think it also ties back into that nice, relatively small compared to most gyms, just easily controlled environment right here. I mean, you're right. We had a couple companies reach out over the last few years and rent the whole facility out to shoot advertisements. Unrelated companies. They needed a space. They were looking for something like mine. It's not a franchise. It's not some big, crazy corporate place. They knew, okay, they call the phone number and Bobby Jackson's going to answer the phone.
Yeah.
And okay, we need a whole facility. How much is it going to cost us to rent the whole place out for an afternoon, right? And it was all those little things that we were able to coordinate because we just keep it simple. Just like our training philosophies, just keep it simple. It's something that people have to do every week, every month, every year of their life.
Yeah.
The more simple it is, the easier it's going to be to continue to do it. So
let's talk a little bit about business. You've been in business now 4 years here in South Florida on your own. What has been one of the struggles, whether it's simple or more challenging, one that a lot of people that have their own business might have gone through themselves? And what is one of the most exciting things being a business owner that's got you a little pumped up at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things are getting me pumped up here. I'd say the most interesting is, you and I used to work together down in Fort Lauderdale, just a few miles south of here. Now that I'm up in, right in the center of Pompano Beach, what was an interesting challenge at the beginning was seeing how differently you have to market the gym, right? It's not a far distance, but really kind of the average person I'm trying to sell to has definitely changed just a little bit. There's just a little bit different, average attitude of the typical Pompano person versus Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a fun challenge, seeing, getting a lot more return off of like a newspaper advertisement, for example, which I don't think quite as many people in Fort Lauderdale read. A newspaper, you can reach a ton of people through social media. And so we kind of flipped it, where we've seen good return off social media, but our print ads actually did better at the beginning of getting stuff on the ground. So little things like that were kind of interesting challenges that, we were going to try a little bit of everything. That was kind of our strategy at the beginning anyway, since it was a new market for me.
Yeah. Any challenges opening a new business and stuff? Just little construction issues, permit issues, or anything?
Nope.
Pretty lucky there.
Yeah, Pompano Beach is just a great city to work with, getting everything permitted and ready to rock. So, we got open.
And
quicker than I thought.
you spent quite a few weeks going to the meetings, the monthly meetings, right, in Pompano? the business meetings that
For
they had?
yeah, so I also joined the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, it is.
That was a big one too.
How much has that impacted your business?
Very little, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean, great organization, great group of local business owners and employees. I mean, really cool thing. But just for for the way we were marketing ourselves, we didn't see a huge return on that one. And then at the end of the day, it ended up being we got so busy I couldn't make it to the meetings anymore. So
Good problems to have.
Basically, it traded off. It was all good. Got to still meet some incredible people there. Made some really good business connections that we've continued with. People we've kind of teamed up with, being complementing services like massage therapists, chiropractors, things like that, physical therapists that we now can work alongside and refer people to. So even beyond just getting the clients that we got from them, it was more about just other community connections that was very valuable. And we just kind of moved on with things that worked a little bit better client retention wise. So.
All right. So what's in the future, man? What's in the future for the custom fit thing? You got a lot of things going on outside of custom fit. How's it all tie in together?
Yeah. So, we're just going to keep on building. That's really it. We're rolling. I mean, that's the catch. Hopefully everybody stays healthy, stays well, and we get through the current situation that's happening with the quarantine. But at the end of the day, man, we're just going to keep building up. We know what type of clients are kind of our bread and butter. Of course, we pride ourselves in being able to train anybody, but we have certain types of people that really enjoy working out a facility like this. We're going to continue to be there for those people.
Yeah, you're known for training some fighters here as well.
Yeah, that was another thing that I wanted to use to also differentiate myself from that other typical gym, in the city here, and kind of flex more of that certified strength and conditioning specialist, that little certificate that I got to get into the fitness industry in the first place. So that's kind of apply that more advanced science, what the periodized type of a training program based on what part of the season an athlete's in, what kind of the primary goal is for that athlete. And then if there's any, pre or post rehab things we need to focus on as well, making sure we're working out muscular imbalances to make sure that they're performing, very precisely for their sport. Those were, I've got a friend who's a local professional cage fighter, kind of polish him up to use him as an example when we very first opened and really pushed the marketing with that one. And the whole rest of it just kind of steamrolled after that. So
yeah, the biggest thing is he was winning.
He was winning.
He was winning doing the strength and conditioning.
He was coming back from a losing record, ended up going 5 wins in a row in a matter of 18 months after taking 2 years off, and totally flipped his record around. And so we got to really use that as an example. Of course, he's an incredibly talented athlete in his own right, but getting to do a little, extra polishing up at the Custom Fitness Institute, I think definitely helped both him and myself. So when we have just a client that wants to come in and lose a couple pounds, I just want to do a little toning. So, okay, we can do that. That's no problem. These are the things we've done with some of these other athletes, especially with weight management, body composition, things like that. It's okay. That's just applying the science.
Yeah.
We know the recipe for that, like you do. It's all numbers.
All numbers.
It comes down to some pretty simple math and some fundamental movements, and we can look incredible off just applying that. So that was a really fun way to get the whole brand kind of kicked off.
And and that's a good point that I like to bring up while we're on this episode. You have trained fighters in your facility. They've won their competitions. Why does that not discourage your other clients from coming in? Because I've been in here multiple times, and everyone's laughing, they're having a good time. You're just high-fiving as one's leaving. Well, they used to high five as the fighter's leaving, and then you got the grandpa coming in here to work out, and he's just getting just as good a quality of workout and stuff. Why is that mixed so well?
Yeah. So number one, which again is like how you train too, we don't train everybody the same way.
Yeah.
That was the inspiration behind custom fitness. Is it really does have to be a customized program. Even if you and I both have the same goal, okay, we want to gain 5 pounds or we want to lose 5 pounds. The goal might be specifically the same, but we're going to have different body types. We're going to have different strengths and weaknesses. We might have injuries that we're kind of fighting through still, or things that haven't fully recovered from the past. And so it's breaking down somebody on an individual level, making sure it's very specialized. And then just the quality of the athlete we get in here. I mean, it's specifically the fighters, men and women, some of the most dangerous people I've ever met in my life, but they are all just incredible, genuine, awesome, happy people. I mean, it's kind of funny with the fight industry. It's the more dangerous the athlete gets, the nicer the personality is.
So true.
Because they don't have to walk around flexing it, trying to prove a point. Everybody already knows they're tough. And so they're just super nice, really inclusive, happy. They want to get to know other people, share the excitement of being in the gym. And I think that our other, we'll say civilian clients really enjoy that because they get the benefit of the energy. Yeah. They get to see, our wall of fame of, some of the victories we've had from some of the athletes, regardless of the sport. And so, that just increases the energy, I think, in here as well. So,
yeah, it's good.
Lucky,
man.
Still lucky.
Good.
Again, that's the idea, is somehow just being able to attract some just absolutely incredible people and just doing something we love. At the end of the day, we're in an industry that we should be having fun every day.
It should be fun every day.
And for some people, going to the gym is really stressful, and that's something we want to try to work the kinks out of.
Yep.
Make it a happy, exciting thing. One of my clients, first thing this morning, 5:30, shows up. Yeah, this would be a day I'd miss if you weren't here waiting for me, is what she says.
Yeah,
I'm like, we get that a lot.
We get that
that's
a lot.
First thing in the morning on a Monday.
I would say all day, not just 5
That's
a.m.
it. But a couple hours later, she texts me, hey, I got home. I had an extra, 40 minutes before I had to get ready for work. So caught a little quick 30-minute power nap, got cleaned up, got to work. And I'm actually feeling better than I've ever felt on a Monday morning. And it's, okay, that's why we still worked out.
Yep.
I didn't beat her up when she got here. When I heard, okay, I really don't want to be here, that didn't mean, okay, I'm going to take my day out on her. We still coached accordingly. We still got her warmed up properly, did some movement pattern warm-ups beyond that one, got the body moving properly, and we were still putting in some killer work at the end of it. She gets done, great hour, ends up at work feeling like a champion, and that's really the whole way to do it. It's, we're here, we have a job.
Yeah.
Because we're able to keep people, motivated to keep working out, keep coming in here, and keep working throughout the entire hour, knowing that, okay, I might not feel great now, but man, once you get that workout done, the whole rest of the day is going to feel good.
And that's what you and your team do really good. It's custom fitness, personal training. So let's break down those words. Custom fitness, so it's a custom program to you, the individual customer coming in, and it's personal training. So you have to take the personality that you're training and make that part of it. So your sleepy person that's coming in, you need to wake them up, and if after a few sessions you have a little bit better feedback on what that personality is going to be like. So it's
exactly.
You might have that fighter that comes in at 5:30 the next morning, and you just got to push them right away. That's how you get them up. They have a deadline. Some of the people that are just trying to lose a couple pounds and feel good for the rest of the day, you don't need to kill them so they can't even go work the rest of the day. And that's what you guys do really well. Your team does it really well. So
we try to. We stay conscious of that, and you're right. There's the two components of that. There's the custom fitness, just being the customized programming, and then like any good, personal training, you need to connect personally with that client. Like managing people, I need to know what's going to motivate them, right? If they come in unmotivated, tired, upset, what am I going to need to avoid doing to make that any worse, right? Some people, you got to be, a little bit higher energy and kind of bouncing around. Other people can't stand that, right? So you got to make sure you're treating everybody differently, the way that they need to be treated, talked to, coached, and brought through the session to make it to the end, to still push, to go, a little bit harder, a little progressive overload on each set, and to really build it up to get that nice burn by the end of it. And I'm still trying to get better at that. And
you're doing an awesome job.
Good job.
Yeah, you guys are doing an awesome job. And the biggest thing is you're getting results out of all your customers.
Yeah,
that's what they came in here for.
Yep, and that's what you say all the time too. It's the clients, beyond anything else, they're paying for the results.
Yep.
So yes, I do need to talk to them in a special way that connects with them individually based on their personality. Yes, that custom program does need to get them, that needs to be the right science to get them where they need to go. But at the end of the day, I also need to motivate them enough so the other 23 hours out of the day, they're still making the right decisions. Yeah. So that the results start showing up, and then all of a sudden it's just that constant build, and they're really getting some nice progressive progress made. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, man, give them a shout out. Let them know where you're at again. Bobby, let them know where
yeah, it's
they're
the
at.
Custom Fitness Institute. We're at 1701 East Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach. You guys can call or text me anytime, 954-999-8458. And then we've got all the social media channels at the Custom Fitness Institute. So Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. And of course, you will also continue to hear me on the Health is Wealth podcast.
Yes.
I'm super excited to be the first roadshow destination. This is a huge thing for, I think, both of us.
As you should be. Yes, this is very exciting. This is only the beginning of this series. We're going to be on a bunch of local businesses. So if you are local and you are interested in sharing your fitness journey and your business journey on podcast, give us a shout out. We'll be here for you. And remember, if it was easy, it'd be damn cheesy.